Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel with another striking video. This time, in this video, I'm going to teach you from a class 12 a poem written by Kamala Das, Mother at 66. The poem basically that I'm going to teach you today depicts a daughter's love and affection for her mother. The poem is full of marvelous words. The poem is full of marvelous poetic devices and a lucid language. As you can see, the central theme of the poem, Mother at 66 by Kamala Das, is aging and inevitable fear of loss. The central theme of Mother at 66 by Kamala Das is aging and the inevitable fear of loss. The poem portrays the complex emotions that arise when the poet observes her aging mother and contemplates the idea of separation, both physically and emotionally, due to the eventuality of death. Here in this poem, we are going to witness that the poetess, along with her mother, is going to airport in order to pursue her further future endeavor. And here Kamala Das is worried about her mother who is aging. At the same time, the other key themes of the poem are first one, mortality, the transient existence of human being in this world. Second one, child's affection towards his or her mother. Third, death that is inevitable. Fourth, fear of loss and separation. In this video, I am not going to discuss or explain the poem line by line, but in this video I am going to give you a precise idea about the poetic device used by poetess Kamala Das. As you can see, the poem Mother at 66 by Kamala Das is rich in poetic devices that enhances the emotional depth and themes of aging, loss, and fear of separation are some of key poetic devices used in the poem. So the first poetic device that we are going to discuss is simile. As you all know what simile is actually, a simile is a poetic device in which an indirect comparison is made, okay, with the help of like and as. Now in the poem, the line that depicts simile or portrays simile is the poet uses a simile to compare her mother's face to a lifeless object as a late winter's moon. This simile reflects the mother's pale and withered face, symbolizing fragility, old age, and the inevitable decline of life. The next poetic device used by poet Kamala Das is imagery. What is imagery actually? Vivid imagery is used to describe both the mother's appearance and the outside world, creating a contrast. Remember, imagery is a poetic device in which the poet tries to create image of that particular thing in the reader's mind. In this particular poem, we can see that her face, ashen like that of a corpse, evokes a stark image of death and decay. Trees sprinting and the merry children spilling out of their homes create contrasting imagery of life, energy, and movement. So here when the poet Kamala Das was looking at her mother and at the same time when she was looking outside, both the contrasting images are presented. And these particular words evokes the stark images in our mind. The next poetic device that we have is metaphor. We all know what metaphor is actually. A metaphor basically what a metaphor is a poetic device in which a direct comparison is made between two different things and without any help of like or as. In this particular poem, though the comparison of a mother's face to the corpse is not directly stated as a metaphor, it can be seen as a symbolic representation of inevitability of death. So, in this poem, we hardly can find any metaphor, and mother's face is actually described here with the help of the word as. Next, alliteration. What an alliteration is? Alliteration is basically the repetition of consonant sounds that can be noticed in lines or in the beginning of words. So when same consonant sounds are repeated in the very beginning of a word is called alliteration. An easy poetic device that we must understand. In this particular poem, okay, let us try to stay with that pink alliteration. So smile and smile and smile. So here smile s, and smile s. Remember here the consonant sound s is getting repeated thrice. Remember, if the consonant sound gets repeated twice or more than twice is can be marked as alliteration, and there is no such rule that the words shall be placed side by side. It should be within a line. The next poetic device that we have is repetition. So, what repetition is? It is also a poetic device in which a word or a phrase is repeated more than one to emphasize something, to emphasize or to give stress to an idea. In this poem, poet Kamala Das has used smile and smile and smile. So we can see the word smile has been used thrice in this particular poem, in this particular line. So here we can say that it is a fine example of repetition. Next poetic device that we have from the poem is contrast. There is a strong contrast between the mother's aging, lifeless appearance and the vibrant, lively world outside the car. The sprinting of trees, the spilling out of children, the sprinting trees and the children represent vitality, while the mother symbolizes aging and the passage of time. Next poetic device is enjambment. Enjambment is an easy poetic device basically that shows when lines are without any sort of punctuation mark, then these lines will be under the poetic device called enjambment. The poem the poem basically features enjambment, where sentences continues without a pause beyond the end of a line, maintaining a flow that mirrors the continuity of thoughts and feelings. So just turn the pages of your book, get the poem, try to find out example of enjambment. If you can get it, obviously write it down. The next poetic device that we can find in the poem is personification. Personification is a poetic device under poetic devices under imagination. So here in personification, basically the characteristic or the attributes of living things are imposed or given to non living objects. In this poem, we have the phrase trees printing personifies the trees, giving them a sense of life and motion, contrasting with the mother's stillness and decay. So, personification, as you can see, that trees are lifeless, and here are non living things, but here the motion or quality, printing is the quality of human being or a living thing, so it is given to trees. Similarly, we have in daffodils that tossing their heads merrily. So here that line also from daffodils or wander lonely as a cloud, a poem by William Wordsworth. There we can find that line. Okay, the next poetic device from the poem is symbolism. So what symbolism is basically? Symbolism is a poetic device. Look, the winter moon symbolizes aging and death. So remember, here in the poem we can see so a phrase or line was there with the phrase winter moon. We know that in winter the moon doesn't shine that brightly. So here it symbolizes aging and death, while the children playing symbolize youth and life. The car journey itself can be seen as a metaphor for the journey of life, moving forward towards an inevitable end. These devices come together to express the speaker's complex emotions of love, anxiety, and grief as she reflects on her mother's mortality. So this is all from my side, your English guide. If you like this video, please do share, subscribe, and like and comment so that I will get motivation to upload more videos like this one. And thank you. Thank you very much for your support. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.